right, but finally,
100%.
yo, let's dive into this. So, right, because the last news piece, right, is that fucking Jupiter's Legacy got canceled.
Word.
And right around the time we were going to do our review.
Yep. Or it's like going to be reworked or some other mumbo jumbo. But
That
yes,
shit ain't gonna be reworked.
I was reluctant. I mean, I was a fan of the comic book. I don't remember all the details about it, but I've just loved Mark Millar, the aforementioned another epic comic scribe. I just love his shit, and I like the fact that Netflix gave him like his own deal. You know, we have like a Super Crooks anime apparently also on the horizon, or maybe not. Maybe they're taking a step back and changing a lot of things. But yeah, so I don't know. Maybe this one didn't perform to their expectations, but it doesn't look like they're gonna keep going.
So actually, question for you, Rod, about that. I didn't know. So because you read Super Crooks, so is Super Crooks supposedly in the same universe as Jupiter's Legacy?
Yeah, last I read, there was a Miller verse. So at the end of Kick-Ass 2, there's like, I don't know. Yeah, I have to go back into the comic books, and there's like a panel where I don't know whether or not he's integrating them all or whether they were just movies in the Kick-Ass world. I don't remember. But yeah, there's some.
Oh, that's
Miller
crazy.
verse.
That's bugged out.
Yeah, so because for the news, no, what ended up coming out recently, and then this is the statement the Mark Millar posted, right? That so Jupiter's Legacy is canceled. That he says obviously they, with the deal that they have with Netflix and Millar World, they still own it, and so they're like they might come back to it at a future date. Apparently, there were creative differences that they couldn't, settle for season 2, so they decided to cancel it. But they're gonna dedicate themselves now to the Super Crooks because apparently they're doing two things. Apparently they're doing the anime and like a live action show of Super Crooks, and so now they're putting all their efforts into that, which is co-created by Mark Millar and Lionel Francis Yu.
Yes,
it's a dope ass artist too.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what they're doing. Honestly, for me, I'm like, this is not a good sign, right? Because I'm thinking if this is what happened with the first fucking intellectual property that Netflix is working with Millar on, like, it doesn't bode well for the next fucking stuff, right? Like, what's gonna happen for Super Crooks, for the Magic Order, for fucking
the Magic Order,
all this other stuff, Nemesis, or Huck, I think they're doing too. Like, well,
I mean, I think they're probably gonna like reverse engineer in a way. Like maybe they were going for like general aesthetics for like all things that were going to be under like the Miller umbrella, and because they're going to quote unquote rework, i.e. not bring it back for Jupiter's Legacy, maybe they're doing a whole like aesthetic shift. Because to be honest, I wasn't grabbed by Jupiter's Legacy. Like the aesthetics weren't engaging. The Utopian's costume, it didn't grab me.
His chest, fire.
No, it wasn't.
He's the most epic part of that whole show. He looks like a God, Jesus, Clark, Thor God.
That shit was it was overwhelmingly meh. Like I saw him and I was like not struck. Like Josh Duhamel in the flashbacks was more impressive than Josh Duhamel as Utopian.
Damn,
he was handsome as
he was
fuck in that suit.
In the whole show.
Nah, bro. All right, so let's do it. We'll do our review now.
And wait, before we're gonna dive into the review. But I said one more comment. I know. Let's not kid ourselves, gentlemen. We all know that Invincible wiped the floor with everybody. And once Invincible came out and just changed the motherfucking game, this shit is a meme now. I feel like other people are looking on like, yo, there's some high quality shit out there, so.
Facts. But don't try to defend this whack show by saying that Invincible was so good.
I don't think it was whack. All right, so I don't think it. I found both the flashbacks and the present time compelling. And the flashback, I don't know. I got like the Mummy, Brendan Fraser, Indiana Jones kind of vibe. I don't know what's going on there.
Set it up for people who are listening right now. So what was the show about? Like,
all right. So if you haven't seen it, during the Great Depression or some shit, this guy.
Spoiler alert too, obviously for everybody.
Yeah.
Or some shit.
Some dude's family loses it all. Then he starts having visions after his father does something insane, right? I don't want. Is it spoilerific?
Yeah,
I mean,
let's
Fuck it.
go
I mean,
for it.
well,
His
well, I
dad kills
mean,
himself and then haunts him and then leads him on this epic journey where he requires like these other souls like to go with him because they're all integral to this whole thing playing out. One of them is his brother, a
Yeah.
reporter, a Lois Lane kind of character, a whole bunch of other people. I don't know. But yeah, so they go to this island, and on that island they gain mystical powers. And from that, I got Eternals vibes too. I feel like Eternals is gonna be something like that, where like this band of otherworldly travelers, I don't know, doing crazy shit. But yeah, anyway, these powers come to them apparently, like the title implies, from Jupiter or something, right?
hold on 1 second, Rod. What it gave me vibes of was the Phantom. That was very inspired by that. It was in the 20s and 30s. They went to an island to get the skulls, which gave them powers. That's what it struck me as.
Dope.
Yeah,
Deep
That was
man.
cut.
legit. That was legit. The
Billy
plot.
Zane.
Shout out to Billy fucking Zane, the Lex Luthor we never got. All right, go ahead.
Word. Multiverse Flash.
Oh,
Billy
word.
Zane.
Facts. Billy Zane. All
Yeah,
right,
but
go ahead.
they get powers and flash forward to the present. They're a fucking Justice League analog again. Invincible did it so well. You gotta like, you know, really take a step back if you're gonna attempt to once again give an audience another Justice League,
Word.
right? And then, you know, they're involved in their own epic drama. It reminded me a lot of Titans. If I had to compare it to a show, at least in the present time, it would be Titans. A lot of attractive people with superpowers getting into drama, right? That's basically it. That's the plot.
Which brings the argument forward. Why don't ugly people get superpowers? So, like, let's be honest about this shit. Like, they're setting a standard. Let's get into the nitty gritty of what's being shown to us. Every show, every company, everyone that's a superhero is beautiful to some extent, handsome to some extent. I want a show where is like everyone that has superpowers is like a 6 and below.
Preach.
Word, yeah. All you have to do is go back to the 90s era of comic books, right? Especially like with all the men ridiculously buffed and like exaggerated, and the women too are like extremely sexy with unrealistic bodies and costumes that are basically just covering the nipples and like their ass and pussy. And
Facts.
that's it, you know.
In some cases, both, because She-Hulk had engorged female body parts like tits and ass and massive muscles, which is
I love that you used engorged. Trying to get the listener a boner right now.
it's like unnecessary swelling of body parts. But yeah, we need some ugly superheroes out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, the outlier is Deadpool. He's our favorite ugly mercenary.
Ryan Reynolds, like I don't know.
And
Yeah,
they have
I
to
guess.
go out of and they have to go out of their way to make one of the most handsome men on the planet horribly looking.
Yo, I think you're meta woke right now. I think what you're
Facts.
saying, not even woke people have caught on to. So
Whoa!
I'm gonna jump on this
Fucking-
wave.
Yo, greatness is never appreciated.
Right, but so then with Jupiter's Legacy, we that's
Jupiter's
let's
Legacy.
go back to Jupiter's Legacy fucking review. It's like the only thing that was missing from the description of the plot, right? Is that now the whole thing is now this Jupiter, you know, the Utopian and the Justice League group in the present time, right, have kids, right? And there's a lot of teams, and then they have this strict code, very a Superman-esque or classic hero-esque, where we can't kill and exaggerated like that, and where all the younger superheroes would like to kill because they've been getting killed, and the villains are getting more violent. And then the big thing is that the children of Utopian and I forgot what was the Liberty, right? Mrs. Super Liberty or something like that is his wife.
Like that.
You know, well, in the show, one of them is like, yo, fuck all this shit. I don't want to be a superhero. She's just a model, and it's like, you know, doing all sorts of drugs and just living that life.
Yeah. I like her.
The son is like trying really hard to be like daddy. But they're struggling with the whole thing because he actually kills a supervillain to save his dad's life in the show. And then that creates that drama of like, oh, what's happening? What's up with that? And then, so the thing is like, exactly like Rod described it. The only thing is it's not linear, right? They're showing you flashbacks of how they're getting their powers at the same time as the drama in the modern times. To add to what Ches was saying, honestly, I I did not like their costumes in the present time, their look. I thought they was the stupidest fucking wardrobe. Like, because it's they're making them look old, right? Because they're because in the 20s, they're just themselves, all these actors. And then in the 2021, they're supposed to look old, and they have the shitty ass makeup, like crappy ass fucking fake ass shit on their face that I can tell is gonna fall off. Nah, man, and the suits were kind of okay, but I couldn't stop looking at, for example, Chris Dumel's just fake white hair and fake wrinkles. I'm like, oh, dude, that's terrible makeup. Josh Duhamel, yeah, terrible makeup. Like, I just nah. Oh.
Dude. Fucking quick. I don't know if this is a deep cut. Maybe it's like a surface, like prick or something. But it's on Arrow, Manu Bennett as Deathstroke, when he had the same kind of long hair and beard, looked way better on the CW than the Utopian did with the massive Netflix.
Yo,
budget.
you both shut your mouths. He looked so cool to me.
Right.
That
I'm gonna rate it.
All right. Honestly, I thought he looked amazing. I thought the costume work was one of the pluses from the show. The performances were not bad. So my gut says 7.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna need the fans to go on YouTube to see how much I hated this shit, because this show is so whack that it's gonna change the mood of my entire environment. I give it a 0.
No.
What?
This is a deadly game show now. Some of the Riddler shit.
Shit. I didn't hate it like that. I'm gonna give my review. My number. I'm gonna give it a 5. I give it a solid 5. It was okay. For me, it was a little bit. I want to give a shout out to myself, because it made it better for me because I read all of the fucking Jupiter Legacy's books in a weekend. I have never read anything that fast. Like, literally 4 volumes of fucking books. Fucking just went through them over the weekend, and that got me excited to watch Jupiter's Legacy more, and made me appreciate the shit that I was seeing that much more, but not that much to give it that high of a rating. No, the books are great.
Amazing, right?
I wouldn't say amazing, no? Actually. Right. Like, but especially it's the first volume. Well, okay, it gets complicated right now. If you're listening or watching us right now on YouTube, if you want to read Jupiter's Legacy, we have to describe right now that it's a little bit different how they have it right now for you to purchase than how it came out. They kind of went Star Wars kind of road with like episodes being at different places, because technically Jupiter's Legacy is 2 books. It's Jupiter's Legacy and Jupiter's Circle. Jupiter's Legacy is what we were describing right now about the Justice League in the present time with their kids and that kind of stuff. Jupiter's Circle is supposed to be the prequel books to what happened, how they got their powers and all that kind of stuff. So what's and it explores the group more in the 20s and 30s and in even in the 70s, I think, their story. So I loved Jupiter's Circle. Those books were great. They came out, technically, Jupiter's Legacy came out first, and then Jupiter's Circle, and then another Jupiter's Circle, and then Jupiter's Legacy again. But now, if you go to buy them, volume 1 is Jupiter's Circle, the first one, the one that's set. So it's chronologically in order now, if you buy them. So you really, if you want to watch the show, you'd have to buy the 3rd book that's out right now, if that makes sense.
I encourage the fans to not do any of that.
Yeah, the books are good though, and especially Jupiter's Circle. Jupiter's Legacy is illustrated by Frank Quietly. Come on,
that's why I was a big fan of it.
Yeah, so those books get better over time. I feel like the first volume, the first Jupiter's Legacy book was so.
All right, stop hating. What do you give this show?
I give it a 5.
All right, so that gives it
a 4. I did the numbers. Yep.
LoZ Reviews 4.
So far, wackest shit we've encountered. I hated it.
And the part that's kind of surprising too now is like, now that it got canceled, right? It's like it ended on a huge cliffhanger. The show. Did you not see the finale?
I did, but
you don't remember?
And I didn't
You didn't even
care.
that's
if
how.
there was-
What? But I thought you liked the show, Ron.
You were.
Excited. I'm confused.
I
If you
mean,
give it a 7, you'd remember how it
a
ended.
7. Like it's an enjoyable watch. I feel like if you start it, Chez, you didn't even finish it, right?
Nah, dude, I got up to the part where the daughter was like throwing shit. Like episode 2. Like
Yeah, she did like a Lamborghini or some shit.
It's some shit like that. Yeah. That I got up to that was like, fuck this.
I think was Chloe. I think she might have been my favorite character. Maybe.
All right,
No,
so
no,
Walter.
can we throw some spoilers about the book and like as it relates to the story right now?
Okay, so now actual spoiler alert here for the fans because that one actually matters. Go ahead.
Spoiler alert!
Right. So because the big thing is, you're right. You mentioned Chloe, right? Chloe's the coolest character because Chloe is the star of the books. Chloe. So if you read Jupiter's Legacy, I'm gonna give you a big ass spoiler right now. The Utopian and Lady Liberty get killed like in the first few issues. They're not the main people. They get killed. So eventually at the end of season 1, we find out that his brother, who's the guy with the mental powers, is actually the bad guy. He's the one that's being, trying to get his son, a utopian son, to turn and orchestrating all this stuff to make the utopian fall. What I didn't like about in the comic books is that basically everything that happened in season 1 was like 2 books in the book.
Damn.
So which made me feel like all of a sudden, because in the books it goes super fast, because who kills the utopian in the books? His own fucking son.
What?
His son blasts his fucking face off with his laser beams from his eyes because he got convinced by his uncle to fucking do it.
Pretty sure that didn't happen in the show.
Right, but I was excited it was going to lead up to that because at the end of season 1, that's why it was a huge a cliffhanger. We find out that his brother is actually evil and he's been orchestrating all this shit. And so then that leads, because then the book gets fucking dope because all of that happens. The brother and his uncle kill his parents. So there's patricide in the fucking book, right? And then Chloe has a son with ¿cómo se llama? What's the Batman type character? What's his name?
Damn, I forgot.
Jesus, Rod, did you watch it till you gave it the highest review? You don't remember.
Word. There you go, fucking like the litmus test of how engaging.
Well, yeah.
Anyway,
it's
like
the invincible effect.
Like one of the original members of that team, we find out in Jupiter's Circle that he's screwed over by fucking Utopian's brother, and they think that he's the villain, and so Skyfox, it's Skyfox, the character. And in the show,
I was gonna say Star Fox, but I stopped myself.
Close, yeah. No, and in the show, his son is the guy with the fun little magic rod. Him and Chloe have a son, and the books are basically about them 3 escaping the Utopian's brother and their rule, because Utopian's son becomes the president of the United States.
Jesus Christ.
This all happens in 5 issues. Like it's
what
super
the
fast.
fuck, man?
So like everything we just saw on the show right now, that's not even the story. Really, like the story is a whole other shit that what I just described sets up Jupiter's Legacy. Like there's so much more afterwards about
I could tell you what happened.
What happens?
Mark Millar saw this shit, was like, get the fuck out of here. Like, take that shit off. That's what happened. Jesus Christ. That sounds awesome. No, that show was horrible. That show was insulting. I would go as far as to say, and I can't believe I'm gonna say this about Netflix, because actually I consider them conscientious content creators because of the Marvel shows. That was just a blatant cash grab at the whole superhero live action fad. You know what I mean? Like the costumes felt like high quality, like upper echelon Party City. Like you gotta talk to the guy in the back to get to these costumes, and he knows a guy. You know what I mean? But like, it's still like, no, like you guys could have done better, especially after what you told us.
Right,
like,
right.
No.
And my defense, at least I inflated my number so that the total number was a 4, and that's something that like is a bit more realistic. What do you guys think?
No, yo, bro, be honest to yourself.
Yeah,
Don't try to fuck the
word.
system. Trust the LOC system.
Wait, so give it. All right. So Chess can give it a 0.
Yup. I don't give a fuck.
Damn.
I'm out
You
here.
know,
putting
he
zeros
didn't
in red
even
light.
watch more. You know, he watched a few episodes and then he was done. Like
That shit pissed me. That shit pissed
so
me
my
off so
7 is
much.
valid.
That shit pissed me off so much. It made me join the Red Lantern Corps.
Damn.
That
Yo,
shit made me vomit blood. That's how bad it was.
Ches, Rod compared it to Titans. Have you seen Titans yet?
Yeah, that shit is not. Titans is leagues above this shit.
Damn. I don't know.
Rod, season 1 Titans versus Jupiter's Legacy, only season right now. What's better?
I gotta go with Titans.
Yes,
Do it.
yeah, of course.
Titans.
That's the right answer. There's only one answer. Yeah, Titans.
And
Jupiter, yeah.
now, when I was gonna say, now, how much do you give Titans?
Damn.
Season 1. We gotta go with seasons here. Titan season 1. What would you give that?
I'm gonna science the fuck out of this. I'm gonna lawyer you.
Yeah. Nah, you're cross-examining. It's working. Because now if I gotta give it above a 7, but I don't know if I can. Like I'll give Titans like a 7.5. Like
you know what?
moderately better.
Only that. That's great. That's very surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
it's just
I
that
would.
I love the lore. Like, I'll accept like a decent show. I just want to see fucking Nightwing kick ass with the Titans, and we get that with this show. With Jupiter's Legacy, like I said, you get another Superman type character, and we just had one that was the best show so far of the year. And Invincible, it makes all these characters forgettable. You're gonna instantly forget all their names.
Word.
But it does make for a decent superhero movie. Like if you're gonna binge it. Like,
No, it
I don't
doesn't.
know. I feel like it makes for a nice narrative with good acting and
You know what?
attractive people.
I'd give you that. If they would have made like a Jupiter's Legacy movie, they might have been able to like,
Oh,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, yeah. If they would have done like a Netflix original film, because that story that Miguel described was a fucking film. That shit would have worked. Not this clusterfuck of shit they made.
But you know, it is working though. This
Yeah.
review is brought to you by Miguel's drink of the week.
Exactly. And it's actually pretty much it's almost empty now because it's been a fucking hot ass day here. And because it was so hot, I was enjoying some fucking gin, switching it up. I've been drinking some Hendrick's gin with just some lime, some ice, I think a little bit of seltzer, and then that's it. So it's pretty refreshing drink for this hot summer day to talk shit about Jupiter's Legacy and what could have been. No.
Facts. I mean, all we can do is just hope. Who knows? Maybe, like, you've never heard shit like, oh, we're gonna rework this and bring it back. Snyder said a new president. In the end, Rod could actually low-key, if we ever see Jupiter's Legacy again, thank Snyder for it on the low. For setting a new president of, like, reworking shit. Because studios now, they're like, we'll be right back.
Yeah, because I don't know, what would that mean, right? Like rework, like you mean reboot, or do you mean like you're eventually going to give us a season 2, just not now? Like I don't understand what that means. And for Titans, Rod, also you mentioned the suits, right? I will give Titans, dude, had the best fucking suits though. That Robin suit looked fucking dope as fuck. All of them look great. You really think like Utopian suit is as good as Robin's?
Honestly, I wasn't a huge fan of some of the costumes on Titans. I thought that Nightwing suit was a bit too bulky. Again, like I feel like Daredevil nailed it. Like he nailed like the whole agile fighter superhero thing. He has it on lock. And like Hawk, I wasn't a huge fan. I did like, the way they used it, but the costumes aren't, the actors are what make that show great. The costumes are just pretty cool.
Shit. You know what, man? Maybe, is there any way that we could watch all those shows again? Where are they now that they're on Netflix? Are they like in the ether? Like they're just in the air now? Or did they go to Disney Plus? The Marvel shows, like Daredevil shit like that. Is there any way to watch it still? Like anywhere?
Yeah, it's still on Netflix. It's on Netflix.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
so you know what I'm gonna do now? That just made me happy. Fans, go to YouTube to see what happens. Positive vibes only. Yes. I'm gonna go watch that nasty ass fucking Jupiter's Legacy off my mouth with some Daredevil. On that note, gentlemen, countrymen, I love you. Always a pleasure and honor. Fans, this is Chaz.
Yo, this is Miguel.
This is Rod. Peace out.
For the Legion. Deuces.